are headed to a convenience center to drill them a well. I've never been here, but it's apparently going to be very interesting. The way that they have described it to me is we're kind of backing the drilling rig on like a cliff, sort of. Not really a cliff, but definitely like 4 or 5 foot drop off right off the back of the platform. So the rig itself will be set level, and then it's like a big drop, and all of it is riprap, stone, and all that stuff. And we're gonna bring a concrete road culvert. We're gonna bring 12-inch casing, 10-inch casing. We don't know what we're gonna need. We're trying to bring the elevation of it up, and I don't know. I've got about an hour journey to get there, and once we get there, I'll see it for myself, and I'll show it to you, and we'll cut us a hole today. Okay, made it here. I'm gonna walk it out first. I want to see what exactly we got going on here. Is this gonna be like a trash dumpster place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Center. Just like Clarksville.
Okay. Taxpayer dollars at work. What's up, Tom?
What are you doing, man?
That's kind of crazy. I like the timbers are nice and heavy.
Yeah, they're a little old, but I think they'll hold that rig.
Yeah.
I think you can pull down now and back up, and if you can put some more boards down on top of it,
Yeah.
lay them that way.
That's right.
Yeah,
We'll spread the load.
yeah, and that'll even out the load.
Man, this is wild. This is wild. I guess they want the well out of the way, huh?
Well, I don't know why they put it over here.
They drew it up on paper and it looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that?
Put the damn well right in the drainway.
It's about right up to here. What is that, 40 inches probably?
What?
From down here to up there. Hot dog, man, look at that.
Look at that.
40 inches.
You smarter than the average buyer.
Cool. Okay. Well, I guess we'll point the rig that way. We'll back it up. That way, if we got to go deep, we can bring the rods in this way.
Yeah.
All right. I'll just pull it on down and back it on up. We good? This got to be the craziest shit ever. Makes you nervous.
Yeah, it does make you nervous.
Man, yeah, we're definitely far off.
Yep.
Of that. Here you go. Take this key real quick. Put that in the ignition.
Okay.
If you hop off, I can lift that and take that strap off.
Yep. I'm hopping off.
All right, we got wood underneath it. Let's see. I'm gonna show y'all something crazy.
Just across the Brunswick line.
All right, so we did our plumb bob, and then this is where our wing bit's gonna hit. So this needs to go forward. But my concern is that. All right. Let's see how that looks. Kind of crazy. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Yeah.
Now, Phil, why don't you just roll it forward now and then just drop it on that stone?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to move the stone out of the way.
Okay.
You know. I don't know.
I think that stone's not going to be stable enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope it's stable. Okay. So that's our spot. We're in the center now. That just makes me nervous. I think we'll be all right.
I think that tumble will hold.
It better?
It better.
It better?
As long as you keep a little pressure on them tires.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll leave the axles on the ground.
Michael, I need those ramps right behind you, sir.
Not like we need to elevate the rear of the rig anymore. I mean, hell, that's chest height.
Yeah, I think you're high enough on the back.
Yeah. You definitely don't want to fall off. Definitely don't want to fall. Here you go, Mike. Yeah, I need to go get gloves. Oh, chunk some rocks behind it. Your plugs. Fire it up and see what happens.
Okay.
that looks a little bit better than what it was. I don't know if we can get it any better or any worse, but it's just, you know, kind of crazy. Trying to prevent any failure. When we put pressure on the pad, this started to come down a little bit, so we lowered the rig back down another 6 inches to put the pressure on all 8 back tires. That way, like, you know, I think 75% of the load's going to be on the rear pads. Now we don't have as much load on the rear pads. We're going to let the suspension and the wheels take some of the abuse. All right, let's go up. Let's see what happens. I hope he's gentle with it. When the mass sets in place, it kind of rocks back. You got to be real gentle on the control. Oh yeah, nice and smooth. Good job. Everything looks okay. Once we start vibrating the ground, that'll tell the tale. Yeah, we need hard hat. Is I can't clean around it. It's just gonna have to sit there and blow out. It is good that the dirt's kind of filling in around all the rock. That'll kind of help it pack in, prevent it from sliding. So what today's goals are is we've got this big piece of 10-inch casing right here, really old stuff, but it's 15 foot long. So we're gonna try to set this as surface casing. We got to make sure that our big bit and our big hammer will go inside of this. This should help stabilize the upper 15, 18 feet. We never set surface casing here. That's why the only stuff we have is what you see on that truck. So I believe he's not going to drill that drill rod all the way to the bottom. Because if he did, that's going to be 20 foot minus 40, right above your head. Right above your head. There you go. So we got to subtract 40 inches from the 20 and then another 4 foot. So it's like 7 foot maybe, something like that. But then that'd only be, I don't know. Messed up math because we're dealing with the elevation we're dealing with. drilled it deep enough, either that or it's hitting something. It caught on a couple of Yeah. You want to cut it like right here? All right. siphons it in. Really hard to see how much you're feeding in. Kind of got to shake it. Stir it up a little bit. And then you'll see the occasional little air bubble. You crack the valve, you get the air bubble to move nice and slow. It goes in and blends with the water through the pump, and that's what creates the foam. Right there looks good. Yep, here comes all the
foam now. Typically when I open the foam valve, it takes right at 30 seconds from when I start injecting foam for it to start shooting out of the top. But it does a really good job of getting the cuttings out of the bottom. Normally you don't need foam when you're only drilling through mud, but the minute you run into like sedimentary rock, or here, like here, we've ran into like little round river stone. It's always good to have foam to help lift it up out of the hole. The foam does, it acts like more of a grabbing agent to help lift it with the air, more so than just water. Hey, the sun finally came out, yay! So currently we are 84 foot. When we get to the bottom of that rod right there, we will be at 87 foot minus the 40 inches that you see here. So it'll probably be around 85 foot. We have not encountered absolutely any rock yet. It's just been mud and kind of this like weird sandy formation, which kind of sucks. In an area like this, you kind of wish that you have shallow casing set, but we just don't. You can tell how soft the material is by how fast that chain goes down. You can see the link. Pay attention to the link in the guard in front of it. See how fast one of those links goes down? You see it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In 5 seconds it drilled through that link. If you're in rock, it's going to take like 25 seconds for that one link to pass by that guard. So it's just really, really soft formation. I think Dad went over there and hit it with more foam. It's loaded up, I can hear it. It likes to bounce. The air pressure likes to climb to 300 when you inject a little too much foam. And notice how all the water is split right now? No water? That's because it's foaming up down there. Here in a minute, it's gonna hit the bottom. All the pressure is gonna be relieved, and then here comes all the dirt and mud and water and foam is gonna come shooting up out of the hole. He's going to bring that rod all the way back up. That's going to clean the borehole out, and I'm going to go over there and hit it with a bunch of foam. That's going to help wash the hole out. Oh! I fell. Foam in the mud makes the mud really, really slippery. While he's bringing it up, I'm foaming it. Hey, that prevents the hole from collaring, from like tapering like an hourglass. This is just going to help clean it out even more. So what I do now, I shut it off. And now that I shut the foam off for that little, I'll say a minute, 2 minutes, whatever, it's going to allow it to get a little bit more liquidy down there. If we were in like heavy sand, I would foam the hell out of it and leave it like white sudsy foam. Now you can see right there. See what that looks like, how foamy it is? That was only from about 10 seconds of foam at about half open. But what you have to worry about, the reason why we do this, the drill bit on the end, let me take you up here, I'll show it to you. So the end of the drill bit has 2 holes in it, right? Just like this. So you got air and water coming out of these holes and flowing around all these bits, around all these channels and up and out of the hole. Well, guess what? If you don't allow the hole to clean itself, all the mud and sand and grit will wash back into this hole and plug these up to the point to where 350 psi of air will not blow it out. All that mud will travel up back into your hammer and plug your hammer up. That's not good for the hammer because it goes all in the piston area and all that crap. Then you got to pull everything out, turn the hammer upside down, and wash it out with a garden hose. That's just a lot of wasted time. So when you get to the end of a drill rod, You need to let it blow, get all the stuff out of there before you go ahead and shut off your air. Because the minute you shut off your air, all the trash can wash back up in your bit. We're going to set 107 foot of casing. We're going to do 5 pieces of PVC and then a 7-foot piece of metal on the bottom just to be safe. Looks like we got a storm rolling in. Hopefully we don't get no lightning. A little bit of rain's okay, but I ain't dealing with no lightning. We shut down once it starts lightning. Look at Mike, he's scratching his back. That's crazy. I saw that. The back scratcher. Yeah, I couldn't see it either. The phone's so good you can't see it. Sometimes I add water in it just to stir it up and make bubbles. Yeah, I know, it's hard to see. You always want a lot more foam right at the end to help clean the hole out. That makes Mike have to hoe a lot more. So you notice the gray right here? Notice the gray? That means we're in gray granite now. That's good. Hot dog. About 2-3 foot ago, we were in like, I don't know what you call it, like a quartz formation. It was all really, really white rock. Alright, so what we're doing now is blowing the casing in. The casing didn't go all the way to the bottom. It's about 4 foot off the bottom. So I just put on a check valve. We're going to go down, blow it out, let the casing drop, and then hopefully that'll seal it off. The reason why we don't do it with the bit is because the bit can get trapped between, you know, the grit and the bit, and the casing can all get locked together. In a situation like this, you do not want that happening. be down at about 101 foot. We need to go to 107 foot. We'll have to add on that additional rod, because we took off the length of the hammer. And the check valve's only about 12 inches long. The hammer's probably, 9, 10 foot long. So we'll have to go down with the additional rod, the additional footage. You can see how nasty it is? It's just blowing that stuff out. We pushed the casing in about 10 foot, so all that trash is inside down there. Basically, once the check valve hits the bottom, it'll just stop going down all on its own. I've got my water turned up to 4, just going down really, really slow. I can physically hear the rock, the gravel and stuff coming up. You just want to go really slow. It's just like taking a straw and blowing it down through a milkshake. It's essentially what we're doing here. All right, I'm gonna turn the camera off because I gotta focus, gotta have both hands. And once I get it blown to the bottom, I'll catch back up with you. Not like you can really see what's going on under the skirt anyways. But basically the 3 foot of pipe sticking above the ground, it's gonna slowly wash itself on down. All right, I'm at the bottom, about 2 foot or 2 inches off the bottom. I wanna show you. So what you're seeing right there is only the drill rod. The casing has actually fallen down into the surface casing. So that means it's washed itself all the way down in the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up on it just a little bit, wait till it blows clean. It's basically blowing clean already. Oh my God, my boot's filling full of water. Shit. But I'm gonna say that looks pretty good. Now it's time to pull it all out and put the bit on and go down and start drilling. We're gonna have to add a piece of casing extension to bring it up above the surface casing. I've been recording so long, my battery's getting low, so I'm only trying to hit the important parts when I'm not too busy. So I went ahead and pulled out all the rods, and once I got them out, we noticed that the casing was lower, down inside of the surface casing. So we pulled the surface casing out. Since we got this casing in, that's good. We're done. We elevated it up that little bit where it's kind of level with the skirt. And now we're gonna go back in it and we're gonna start drilling. This should help the whole grouting process, because before, with the surface casing, we weren't gonna have any stuff go around. We have to do 50 foot of grout here, but we've got 107 foot of casing. So by pulling that out, that'll prevent us from having to pump 100 foot of grout and waste all that grout. Now our granite chips will be able to go back down and around the bottom and help seal and help seat the casing. So I'm gonna get off of here. We're gonna hook up the 6-inch hammer and go down and start cutting the hole. All right, well, it's been about 45 minutes, maybe an hour since the last clip you saw. Got the casing in, got it drilled down to about 160 foot. It gave me enough grit to go down around the casing. Most of it's outside of it because of the, you know, center concrete culvert that we have there. But we've got 50 foot of trimming pipe down it, and you can still hear it falling out of the end of the 50 foot. So we're probably grouting this thing 80, 90 foot realistically, something like that. But I threw the old road mat right there to try to divert some of the grit into the hole. Just most of it was going away from it. But so yeah, honestly a good well. I was really hoping I'd hit water early so we could just pack it up and go home, but the inspector wants us to pump grout today and then let it set up. They don't want us drilling anymore. So we're gonna sit here, pump grout, fill this whole thing up, and we're gonna be forced to go home. And then we'll come back tomorrow once the grout's set up, and we'll finish drilling. Well, we've been pumping grout for about an hour, and we pulled the trimming pipe out. It came all the way up to the surface. It'll probably settle 4 or 5 feet over the night, and then we'll come back tomorrow, pump one more batch, and then we'll keep drilling. But basically, I'll look to see if I got another piece of casing. I'll glue it on, extend that up a little bit more, and I'm sure the concrete culvert will just fill in with grit over time. But I think once we're all done here, they're actually going to bring the grade of this up. Because underneath the pad over there is a big 4-inch conduit for them to push a water line, electric line through. But all right, we'll be back tomorrow. All right. It is now the next day, and the sun's out. It's not so gloomy. Yesterday was a little bit hit and miss. Kept getting paranoid about lightning and the rain. Happy to see that the rig hasn't settled or leaning or anything stupid crazy like that. We'd actually made these little walkways because we knew the back of the rig was going to be elevated. How much did the grout settle? Considerable. All right, before we do anything, we're gonna raise that grout up. Ugh. Mike, we need some grout, sir. Grout. The grout settled. We'll go ahead and do that now before we fill that hole full of water with. All right. Damn, you got that crammed in there.
What you need?
I need a bag of pellets right there. That bag of chipped bentonite. I'm gonna go get a bucket of water. Trying to judge and see how deep it settled. I can't tell. May not be as bad as I think. I'll dump a little bit more water on it. Yeah, no, she's drained down. Yeah, it'll probably take one hopper.
One hopper.
Yeah, we'll mix up one hopper. That should be all it needs. All right. I can hear it coming up. It's probably down there maybe like 6 or 8 feet realistically. But I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of fill all this crap up because it gives me a way to pump so much extra. That way if it settles again, you know, it won't really matter. It's such a non-typical well, all the extra crap that we did. But it seems to work. I was super paranoid about having the rig on top of these damn platforms. I was so paranoid. And for about the first 120 foot, if you stood on them, you just felt all the vibrations in it. Made me nervous. All right. Got my little baby knife. This is for scouring the edge of the casing. Sometimes the casing, when you cut it, it doesn't want to glue, like a cut piece doesn't want to glue into a bell end, so you got to taper the edge. And we use a knife to scrape it. Seems to do a good job. I just always have a hard time finding my knife. That'll be all we need. Perfect. All right, we'll get that all done. Then we'll get the rig cranked up and we'll start cutting hole. All right, we got the grout all up. Everything looks good. Time to start cutting hole and looking for water. Alright, well, it's been about an hour and a half since the last clip you just saw. As you can tell, we went ahead and tore everything down. The sun went away and started getting really, really windy. And my battery on my phone was not going to live long enough for me to film all day long. But needless to say, we do have a decent enough well for what we have here. When I tested the flow rate, it's about 3.5 gallons a minute, but I stamped it at 3 gallons a minute. That's essentially the information. 405 foot deep, 3 gallons a minute. I recommend a 3/4 at 300 foot. The only thing they have in that building over there is 1 bathroom and 2 water fountains. So I don't really see a drastic, massive need for water here. I talked to Tom. We're drilling for another driller. He does grading and stuff. So I think he did a lot of the grading here. But the contract is with him, not with this convenience center. He said that they may have to wash things up here. So I guess they'll have some sort of wash station. I don't really know if they like wash out the trash bins or whatever. I have no idea. But only thing I could see they need water here for is a bathroom for the attendant. But I have no idea. Haven't the slightest idea. We had all of our dumpsters removed in our community and in our town, and I think I've only been to them maybe twice in the last 2 years. Honestly, it's very inconvenient in my opinion. You take the ideology behind it, you know, the trash dumpster guy doesn't have to come and hit, 15 different locations. But what you do is you create 1,800 different people driving their cars to one location. I don't really see a savings there, but it's more of a frustration thing. And then I can just see the handwriting on the wall. Just wait until they do this everywhere, and then they start making you pay to have some decal on your windshield that says, oh, you're not allowed to dump here unless you have a purple square on your window or something like that. I can totally see that happening. But that's just my 2 cents on government waste. All right, let me get this all wrapped up. All right, got her all moved forward off this crazy pad. Honestly, it was a whole lot sturdier than I thought it would be. Yeah. But I think the amount of rocks that we threw underneath it was a big help, because it was all open. That made me nervous. It made me real nervous. Well, it's up to them now. Time to go on home. Is my wallet still in the truck?
Yeah.
All right, let me go get it.
Well, this marks the end of today. End of another good well. It was a 2-day well. And hopefully you enjoyed it. But remember, if you're watching from a TV, which half of y'all are, make sure you pause the video right here. Hit the pause button and then hit the like button for me. Try to help me grow this channel. And liking a video is the best way you can support me. And because I know a lot of people, if you're watching on TV, you cannot, you can't comment. Some people can, some people can't. But you can drop a comment, drop a like on the video, much appreciated. But I got about an hour and 20-minute drive back home. And good day. Thank y'all for watching. See y'all later. Peace.